Okay, so I think it's now a time to start now, and I had cut and categorized it to make it shorter than last time, because the last time it's like I bring all of the products that had help about building and enhancing immunity process in your body. So today we are going to make it a lot easier in terms of how some of the products uh, can be okay. We are talking about like which product would have a benefits to keep your immune system healthy. All right, why we need to talk about this? Yes, we are in the same pandemic all over the world, right? Because that we are now fighting the same thing, which is the last time that I talk about this in Thailand. It's actually the situation is not so bad, but for right now we are in the worst situation ever before for the COVID-19 for sure. So we are in the same situation together, all right? So now we are in the same boat. Okay, what we are going to talk about, actually there are fields of um, products that had a part to help building and creating your better immune system, all right? But we are going to split it off, and we are going to talk and focus especially on the Maqui Plus only. Well, the facts, it's the Philippines of new cases every day. Don't be panicked. Thailand, our number, we can beat you now, right? And now the hospital in Thailand also start to reject it doing the test of COVID-19. So to help those who suffering from this virus situation is to educate them and help them for another alternative way to take care of their immune system. This is some uh, announcement that Erica have sent to us and then gather from several hospital. Now it's really hard to get in the hospital right now, but yet they also have like the healthcare service, like an exclusive healthcare service, which is quite costly, when we are not going to invest ourselves now in building daily immune system well, when we had been attacked by any viruses. The consequence is that the cost that you had to pay is actually a lot more than what you have to pay when you're taking good care of your immune system well. But anyway, there's a lot of good news at the end, so don't worry, I'll talk about that like story by story, okay? So by this COVID home care program, usually like cost about 300,000 for 15 days only. So that's quite cost a lot. So today we are going to encourage you guys to having your own immune system, your great own immune system, okay? And then please, now spread this out. Don't keep this information alone with you. If you have friends, family, anyone that you had love, you have any curiosity, questions, problems, you need to ask. You can ask us anytime in the messengers group that we had provided to you. All right, okay, this is better. Okay, so that is why we're having the stations today, because we want to help our friends around. And by the way, just for your information, I also just went to my relatives today, but very far now, don't worry, and well protected. um she also had a close friend who had a COVID. So right now it's like almost everyone who had close to us has this virus, okay? So not to waste your time, by the way, this is the information that's provided by Unity World Life, and this is in for internal training purpose. Anyway, I recorded it. I will send you guys a file and a link to get a review in the future, okay? So to fight correctly and not to pay too much money in by the time that you really need a clinical care already, better to take care of yourself. How to keep yourself be healthy is to keep your immune system healthy. All right. Strong immune is a very essential in the a very dangerous situation like this, which you can just go anywhere outside and get it back very easily, because you absolutely cannot see it, right? Literally cannot see it at all. So we are going to talk this less scientific than last time. Um, for those who had joined and attended last time, I had to really be sorry. Try to explain everything in scientific terms, but I think it turns like I make it more difficult. This time I had study more and make it more simple. Anyway, you just had to look all of this picture, but just listen to my conclusion, okay? So this is actually what it called that this is the process that when your body cells had been attacked with the virus, any virus, all right? When they cannot identify which viruses, or they don't know how to react, now they will send a set of the virus, the set of the immune system to come to fight first, which is on the blue box on your left. Now, blue box on your left, all right? And then they take time to respond, and then they identify which viruses. You know, our body is like they had a genius system, especially our immune system. They are genius. Now, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your immune system that they can actually diagnose how to fight with that COVID. But the thing is that usually people had an immune system, but they don't have enough well performed and effective immune system to perform this process well. All right, so the process is that they take time to respond, means that this you see this blue box here mean that they kind of like identify. Now, if we had any doctors or pharmacists, you want to add on some more correct information or more easy to understand, you can add it in the chat or at the end of the session, please. And by the way, after that, after they know how to attack them in the immune system, they had so many cells, many cells, immune cells. Okay, let's call it immune cells, antibodies. Okay, and they had many types to work in different duties and fight with the different viruses, with the different symptoms. Now, this is how genius our body cells work and our immune system work. All right, so what we need to see and do is that we need to study how to strengthen our immune system. You don't have to remember all these things. I only require you to see that this slides. I only want you to see that this is how genius our body is. All right, next is also a little bit difficult for us, but it's good to actually a little bit understand, all right, a little bit understand how your cells or how your immune cells react when they had it infected with the virus. All right, so when they first come to attack the cells, right, they will have a kind of a process that just like police and the theft, just like that. When they come in, the police touch them, diagnose who are you, what crimes had you done, and which department of the policeman we had to put you in, and with by your guilty. Now, which duties had to be applied to you? Now, had you what the thefts or what the criminals had to be punished by the categories of what they had been done bad, right? So that's the same way that your immune system will reflect or respond to your to the viruses. Okay, and this is just the process. Now I think we don't have to understand those all. This one looks even more difficult. But this one, I will tell you, I'm sorry about my laughing, But this one, I tell you that this is our antibody, all right? This is our antibody. And for your information, these two molecules on the left, this IgM and the IgG, you don't have to remember the name again, but I just want you to understand a process of what they are doing in your body. Okay, usually when you adopt, all right, the viruses in, when you just go out and touch it, breathe it near someone, touch it them by accident or whatever, and you get infected. I mean, you get adopted, all right, not really fully infected yet. When you get adopted, there will be a period and the duration of what it called incubation here, right? Incubation. You see there? Incubation. The incubation period would take about 7 to 14 days, that's why when someone has suspect or yourself suspect that you might get the viruses, the COVID virus with you, you had to quarantine yourself in 7 to 14 days, because in this 14 days time, sometime when you go to take a test, right? I'm negative, I don't have COVID, but who knows, because you might have just adopted it and it doesn't finish their incubation period yet. So that's mean clinically, you will not be tested and found positive yet. All right, you had to be at least after you suspect. When will you be sure that you had a COVID already? When you get affected, when you get infected, the incubation period means that you will have to fight. Right, your body already got some viruses into the body, and then they start to fight. And in this period, if you had a very strong immune system, you can fight. And sometimes because they are not expanding or spreading too fast, they are not going to enter another period that's called clinical symptoms. All right, what is the clinical symptom stage? The time that they start to have symptoms of fever, cannot eat things, some had throw up, hardly breath, even had like coughing, something like that. The sign of the symptoms of the viruses, which is will react differently, depends on the type of viruses that we had. So the one that we had panic is the COVID-19, which usually we had a very, very high fever with breathing problem, right? And that's mean they had passed the incubation and conquer most of your cells in your body. And that's why you are officially be announced that you had COVID-19 with the symptoms, no? So it sounds like, very dangerous and so much to worry. But anyway, when you had a good immune system along or any process in your body, no matter it's an incubation period or the clinical symptoms period, those periods are all being managed and being dealing, protecting you from the attacking of viruses by the immune system. All right, your immune system, which is, we will call it the immune cells. They work together, so we call it a system, but actually one by one we call it immune cells. All right, immune cells. So immune cells consider as one soldier, one cell as a one soldier. All right, so the more soldier you had, it's more strength you had. But if you had a lot of soldier, but your soldier is very weakened, had no food, did not rest, so that's weaken your soldier, which means weaken your immune system. All right, so before going to how to strengthen our immune system, let's check this out on the next slide. In that immune cells, all right, in that immune cells, they will produce one type, that all of the immune cells will produce one type which is a very essential type of protein, which will help. It's not a, oh, protein, you hear protein and then, oh, I should take a lot of protein. That's help a little bit in the terms of it gives a food to make, like, give a healthy food to yourself to make your cells get stronger. But what we are going to talk about today is that we are going to talk about the protein called cytokines. All right, cytokines. All right, the cytokines is a protein that produced from immune cells. You know, all the immune cells, it can produce from many sources. You can see that the cytokine is in the middle here, right? This is a protein which is can produce from lymphocytes, macrophage, cell fibroblasts, blah blah blah. Don't have to remember. All right, just remember that cytokines, cytokines, its duty is to produce interleukin, interferon, and especially attack germs. So in the protein that all the immune system will release when you had the clinical symptoms is the protein called cytokines that fight for you to kill and attack those germs and viruses. All right, and you might heard that people with a patient, with those heart or lung or diabetes disease, they may have a higher risk of a serious illness. Because of what? Because they found that heart or lung disease or diabetes usually had been found with a very low cytokines. All right, so once they have that, once they take a medicine of heart, of the lung and diabetics, then automatically had a very low of cytokines. All right, what else will weaken your immune system? So you had to avoid that. All right, if you had been using, living your life by this behavior, we had a helper. But anyway, we will also encourage you to change and improve your behavior. The weakness of your immune system is that if you take a lot of sources of free radicals. All right, first, if you eat those unhealthy food that contains a lot of free radicals, so means that you had a lot of free radicals taking in, you will have a more weakened immune system. They will have weaker immune system. If you're not getting sufficient nutrients, you also had a lot of free radicals in your body. If you have taking taking beer, alcohol, or smoke cigarettes, this also the way that you consume a lot of free radicals. If you had no exercise, so exercise is also help. Well, but exercise outside the house now is quite dangerous. So that's kind of a choice that we cannot do much around this day. Now, stress or depressed. So if you had someone nearby, they had COVID, remember, just protect yourself the best. So you don't have to worry about that. No, sunlight also help you create a good immune system. And resting, it absolutely help you get a better immune system. All right, so to change yourself and boost your immune system is to change. First is your behavior, second is to change or develop your nutrients. All right, and this is what you might already officially know, the 7 things that would help you, prevent you from the risk of get infected from COVID virus. And that's the behavior. And now we are going to about the diet. Eating a balanced diet and immune boosting nutrients. Some people would say, oh, can I just eat food? I think I selected my food. I eat a lot of vegetable. I eat this, I drink that. Would that be enough? Well, if that would be enough already, means that the person who taking in the same kind of food as you are should have a very strong immune system and won't be in any hospital just right now, right? So what imply is that now stay in this world, it's not easy to find that balanced diet. That's why all the supplement, and especially had to be a good and high standard that when you're taking in, not just help you, but in a long run, it wouldn't be harm or will be danger to you too. That is called the immune boosting nutrients. All right. Usually for the diets in this kind of time, no, this period of time, we would suggest you to take all of this, protein, carbohydrate, mineral, fibers, vitamin, and good fats. What they have found is that minerals and fibers and vitamin, it's what lack in people. I mean, a lot of people, when they take a lot of food in, it doesn't mean that they had enough minerals, fibers, and vitamin, which plays important parts of building a good immune system. So these are the vitamins and the sources of vitamin that you look familiar to you, right? There's also a lot of good bacteria to boost an immune also, and the fruits also. Why sunlight help build immune system? Because the sunlight or the sunshine, it's helping you, to produce vitamin D. And the research shows that low vitamin D is related to COVID-19. By the way, all the vitamins, it's a part of what it helps immune system work effectively. As we all know, vitamin C also reduces the risk of common cold for marathon runners, reduce duration of common cold, which a lot of people try to take in vitamin C to build the immune system to fight too, right? If you would say, okay, I can just take a lot of vegetable and fruits daily. Yeah, I don't have to take the supplement. Have everyone here had experienced this kind of questions or objections from your friend? You can chat now. You can chat here in the box. Hello, Anne. I saw your hello. Thank you. So if anyone has experienced that before, you can just put it in the chat. And the answer that we can answer them is that the World Health Organizations recommended that each person should take in 400 grams daily for fruits and vegetable, which mean like this big, even some people, even one leaves, they don't even take it in. Okay, so, well, free radicals now make it worse. Now, if those who had a lot of free radicals get infected with COVID-19, their symptoms will get worse faster and worse. I mean, the symptom will be worse. So which symptoms or which diseases that shows that you had too high free radical in your body? These are some of the examples of the disease that means and shows that you contain too much of the antioxidant, free radicals, which is cancer, cardiovascular diseases, Alzheimer's, pulmonary disease, arthritis, autoimmune disease, neurological, diabetes, and actually many more. And that's mean inside your body had a high inflammation rate. Now, which if you had high inflammation in your body means that your immune system will be a lot weakened. All right. So we are going to talk about our powerful juice of the Maqui Plus. All right. Anyone here? I believe that I saw a lot of faces that I believe that you had taken it regularly. Now, don't take it just when you had COVID, my friend. A lot of my friends, they just requested this because I have it, I want it now, or when they feel bad. But the way that they took it correctly is to take in every day, so you don't have to pay a lot when you had get infected already. Okay. So why this Maqui Plus? It's very strong that we had to talk about today. The Maqui Plus had been proven that when you take in only 50 milliliters a day, 2 times a day, means that 100 ml a day. It's already been proven in clinical tests that you if you're taking this, it will increase the SOD enzyme, SOD enzyme by 255%. Okay, by 255%. Okay, and that's about like almost three times, right? Almost three times. Why we need to talk about this SOD? Because inside your body, the SOD is the enzyme that produced from the liver, and this will fight the free radicals. That's why people would have those non-communicated disease, for example, like heart, lung, diabetes, cancer, and they get infected with COVID. This Maqui berry juice, Maqui Plus, and superfruit juice would help them getting better and get recover from the symptom, because usually they are suffering from the symptoms of their diseases, right? By this test that they increase the SOD means that they naturally make those patients less suffering from their symptoms, and they get recover in a better effective rate because this stimulate the SOD enzyme. All right. And Maqui berries also have, because in Maqui Plus juice, in Maqui Plus juice is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's already 4. Okay, 4 ingredients. Actually in one bottle they had 12. 12 berries. All right, 12 berries. But in this 4 berries, okay, it's especially had a benefits to prevent you or who they drink it from the viruses. The Maqui berries, they had their own benefits, that they inhibit the growth of virus. Second, chokeberry, it's entrap virus and prevent the penetration. And number 3, we had cranberries as our main ingredients, and it's inhibit viruses to attach the human cell surface. That means that if you get adopted it, in fact, it will not spread and conquer your body. All right. And number 4 is the grape seed that we put in Maqui Plus juice, which helps boost immune system against the viruses. As I told you, that immune system actually had hundreds and hundreds type, and doing the different way of it. I mean, they had different duties. But the one that grapeseed and Maqui berries, chokeberry, cranberries in the Maqui Plus did is that they are working, especially directly with the specific virus, specific immune system that had the duties to kill the viruses. All right, to kill the viruses. Okay. I show you this, which is a new study. Lately, you might see that the story of Maqui Plus. Have anyone saw the video before, the story of Maqui Plus? And I'm going to talk about the antioxidant which been mentioned mainly in this clip. Anyway, I'll send you the link later, and then you can use this link to explain it too. The main ingredients of us contain a lot of the antioxidants called Delphinidine. Well, actually, you might have heard a lot of Antocyanine. All right, Antocyanine. You don't have to worry. Okay, you can just memorizing it. The term, it's called Antocyanine. All right, Antocyanine. And the Antocyanine means that it's the name of the antioxidants. All right. And in Maqui berries and Maqui Plus juice contains a very high Antocyanine. But the Antocyanine itself, there are about 300 types of Antocyanine, but the most powerful one that they had found, that have you ever seen that the fruits or the leaves, you know, the tree leaves in a very cold country, just like -10 or -20, they usually turn red and orange. They had found that the antioxidants that contains a lot in these type of trees and leaves, which help them protect themselves from not dying in the very bad weather. It's called delphinidine. All right, delphinidine, which is delphinidine. It's one. Okay, first, antocyanine is the antioxidants, right? The antioxidants. Okay, and it had 300 types of it. The most powerful one has only one, which is called delphinidine. In Maqui Plus, we had found that we had a very high and powerful antocyanine. And when they had just the recent test in a lab that they had found that delphinidine is actually, there's a lot of research. If you search in the internet, you also found there's a lot of let me show you this. There's a lot of research show the related of delphinidine and the cytokines. You remember the cytokines? So this one, it says, our results suggest that delphinidine exerts immunostimulatory effects on T cell by increasing cytokine production through CRAC channel and NFAT activation. You just don't have to understand the term, but the thing is that there is the clinical publishing that states that these are really being proven. And do you remember what cytokines do? The cytokines do is that cytokines will help and protect, and cytokines will help your immune cells to fight with those cells which had been damaged by the viruses. So they kill. Okay, in simple way, we call it they kill and they attack, especially the cells that had been damaged by viruses. That's the duties of the cytokines. And Maqui Plus helps body strengthen the cytokines. All right, and that's why they had fight it stronger, and then it's make you strong enough, so that enough to what? Enough to not let the viruses in your body spread to any other parts, especially the lung, which they, you know, usually they destroy lung and the nerve system. And how much should we take per day? For those who have not yet infected, you should take about 25, not about actually, exactly 25 ml, 25 ml in the morning and 25 ml in the evening. All right. And aside from that is that if they are someone who already had a COVID, and especially if they had a very bad clinical symptoms, for example, they are diabetes, they have heart conditions, they have lung effects, these people should take at least 200 ml a day. So means that you take 50 and 50, like each 50 ml 4 times a day, and that at least. So some people might ask, okay, and can I take it more? Actually, you can take as much as you want, and there has no harm. No, for those who are concerned, because some of the people who had bad symptoms might have also had diabetics too. And in Maqui Plus, the taste a little bit sour and a little bit sweet. So some people are just so afraid and scared, but especially diabetics now, which is understandable. They're just not allowing patients to drink the Maqui because they just had a wrong understanding, because usually what tastes sweet should be harm those diabetics, right? But in our case now, in Maqui Plus, we had no sugar added, we had no flavor added, we had no any, no had flavor added, no sugar added, nothing added. It's just a pure juice. So if you still can eat your food and takes the juice to take a lot of vitamin C, you absolutely can take Maqui Plus for good. And actually, just to share a little bit, I have friends who had admitted in the hospital with the COVID, and she drinks about 2 bottles a day, and now she already um, checked out. I mean, she already moved out from the ICU unit, which is a very great news now, because most of the people with the same symptom as my friend usually had get worse, and some are unfortunately dead in a very short time, right? So that's all about the Maqui Plus today, how it helps. By the way, I think that you guys, after hear all the sessions, you would love to have that so much already. I would suggest now, because right now the Maqui Plus has to be shipped from Thailand, and it's very hard to find. So for those who really wants it, I may ask you to contact your referral. For I bet that all of you might know Erica or Malene, and they are someone that can find the Maqui Plus for you. But anyway, because we had to book, because usually the stocks that we are arriving, that will be arriving in Philippines very soon, it's all been booked. Now, so please, if you can, reserve it. Now, book it, pay in advance. Maybe just the the maybe half of it, and then when you get it, you can pay another just to book like the sequence of what we had and deliver to Philippines. Nah, this is not about selling, this is just about helping in time, for sure. Nah? And I would like to insist and confirm with that. Okay, so I have another 10 minutes. Would we had any questions that I may answer, or Erica or Malene would be able to help us answer? Okay, so thank you, Erica. Erica had some screenshots and sent a link of the Science Pub, this one, in the chat, so you can just copy and use this referral for your own usage. Okay, and the clinical result that I show you is this one, which you can also refer, okay, and use it too. Okay.
We have one.
Yes, please, Malene.
So the question is coming from Irvin Kai. Is it okay for people with gastritis and for kids?
Yes, absolutely. We had a lot of Malene. Actually, the kids' cakes. I will let Malene talk about that for your real, real experience. For gastritis, no problem at all. Actually, it helps also. Why it helps? Because gastric people usually they had that elasticity between the stomach and the tube here, like not very strong. No? So that antioxidant will help it get recover better. But it's only that if people they had gastritis, they should drink Maqui Plus after meal immediately. Don't drink it in with the empty stomach, because this might stimulate some gas in their stomach. So for the kids case, actually for 1-year-old kids and above can drink, no harm at all. Very pure juice. And I let Malene share her experience. Please, Malene.